So our next patient, it's a very peculiar person. Her name is Dr. Vidisha Vallabh. So from the introduction itself, you'll be knowing that she's a doctor who unfortunately has turned to be a patient. So we are able to hear both the sides. Like when you become a treating patient or when a treating person get affected with the disease, how does one take for that? She's a specialist in preventive medicine, and she has been diagnosed with sarcoidosis and pulmonary hypertension. And up to you, Vidisha. Let us hear your story.
Thank you, sir, for the introduction. To all the dignitaries present here, my friends from HTTP, and to everybody who's listening to us, I am Dr. Vidisha Vallabh, and this is my story. So, do you feel overwhelmed by illness and don't know what to do next? Do you feel frustrated? Do you wonder will you ever be healthy again? Or do you dream of being more active, joyful, and hopeful? Well, welcome to my life. This is the life of a PH warrior. Living with PH is like looking both ways before crossing the street and then being hit by an airplane. And this is what happened to me. I was a healthy young girl. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 33 years old. I am a public health professional. I did my MBBS and MD from Dehradun. And I'm a resident of Saharanpur and I've been living in Dehradun since 2006. So I was living my life happily, normally. I had a few things, I had a few illnesses, but they never bothered me with my life. What happened to me in 2015 was that I started experiencing shortness of breath. And this was suddenly, this happened slowly and it gradually progressed. I started developing cough and I even had hemoptysis. I was mostly diagnosed as bronchitis and asthma by various specialists. I also started having post-nasal drip and then the fatigue set in. I was admitted at HIMS SRHU where I studied at that time and my SpO2 was pretty low. And okay, is this okay? Okay. So I was initially diagnosed as BOOP and I was put on steroids and methotrexate. All well and good. But what happened next was not even in the worst of my nightmares. I somehow managed to finish my post graduation in 2017 in May. I visited doctors all over India, mostly North India, and I was told that I had stage 3 sarcoidosis. Now, this came as a big blow to me. I was not very familiar with this disease. I'm a person of public health. I work with anemia. I work with iron deficiency. I work with malnutrition. I work with small children, with pregnant women. This was something I had forgotten in my pathology time. So I started treatment and I joined my work. But in August 2017, due to all the stress that I had taken, I developed pulmonary tuberculosis. I had pulmonary thromboembolism. I landed up in respiratory failure. Now, this was the lowest point of my life, and I didn't think that I would come out of it. But I can only thank my parents and the doctors at PGI Chandigarh who actually brought me back to life. And I can never thank them enough for that. My life continued as such. I kept on working, but my fatigue and my breathlessness did not decrease. I also started developing tachycardia. I always had palpitations. I was anxious. And what happened in November 2019 was what I thought was a death sentence to me at that time. I developed pulmonary hypertension, which was diagnosed at my college. And then the race began. I was at the end of my wits what to do about it, whom to talk to, whom to ask what to do. I was simply told that I should get a lung transplant done now. And I had lost all hope. So, but still at that time, I was somehow managing well. I met other doctors, I talked to them. They started me on various medications. They started me on macitentan. They started me on tadalafil. I slowly started looking better, feeling better too. But during all that time, nobody believed that I was sick because I didn't look sick. Look at this girl. Does she look sick to you? No, she doesn't. She's just smiling there. So, believe it or not, but there are a lot of doctors who can fall sick too. And nobody believed me. My patients laughed at me. You can't be sick. Doctors don't fall sick. In fact, 4 to 30% of doctors, I found this from many studies, they are chronically ill. And when all this was happening to my physical health, what happened to my mental health? Please remember that depression affects 7.5 to 53% of people who have PH, and panic and anxiety disorders affect between 92 and 251%. Now, this is a huge number. And what had happened to me at that time? I had ignored my mental health, completely ignored it. I was rushing after my physical health. I had forgotten what was happening to my mind, to my soul. I was irritable, I was anxious, I had post traumatic stress disorder, I was depressive, and I had become a recluse. So always remember that chronic illnesses in pulmonary hypertension, chronic illnesses, especially in pulmonary hypertension patients, can trigger many emotions. We can have depression, we can have anxiety. The wait or search for diagnosis is really takes a toll on our mental health. We feel unable to work, we don't feel productive. I really felt like a loser at that time. And the family dynamics changed. I became a recluse. I stopped talking to my friends, my family. There was, of course, financial stress too. And the struggle to deal with everyday tasks like simply taking a bath was too much for me. In fact, I spent weeks and weeks not taking a bath at all, simply lying in my bed. I was so depressed. So finally, how did I cope? So my mother, who's an angel, she talked to me, brought me home, and gave me a good talking to. My physiotherapist, Dr. Negi, has been a real angel to me. He sat there for an hour and he just let me cry. And I told him everything that's happened to me all these years and how I feel about it. And then he told me what to do. So finally, I slowed down. I started conserving my energy. I stopped rushing around. I just sat down at one place. I kept my all the things that I needed, kept them around me, and I slowly started working again. I started taking days off. I didn't feel guilty if there was nobody to take a class that day because I was not feeling well. I, I stopped feeling guilty because I could not go to the OPD anymore. I started meditating. That helped me a lot, a hell lot. And I acknowledged my worth that I'm not a loser. There's a lot that I have accomplished and I can accomplish. I started to say no to people. I said that I simply can't do the work you're giving me. I started listening to my body. I stopped thinking about my disease. I don't think it as a disease now. It's something that I have to live with, and I'm living with it. I started thinking about living. I educated my family, my colleagues about my condition, and I hope that they'll be able to take care of me when I don't feel well. And I started social media advocacy, and that's where I met all my friends from HTTP, and they've really turned my life around. Thank you for being there. So I really came on good terms with my colleagues, with my family members, with my friends. And so, what are the lessons that I learned working as a doctor and also being a patient? So, I've adapted myself, I've changed myself to this new condition, to this new lifestyle. I have now made health my priority. I've stopped rushing after work. I am a workaholic, I know that, but I've stopped rushing after work now. I try to look after myself. I eat regularly. I take breaks because I need them more than other people. And I'm trying to become a good patient to doctors. I'm trying to listening to them. I've stopped worrying about my future. I'm just living in the present. And I hopefully have become more empathetic by now. And I realize what chronic disease patients go through, and I've stopped judging anyone now. And I get tired most of the time. I'm tired, feeling tired right now too. But I try and keep up my sense of humor, and I keep on working. So what I would like to change about, as a doctor who's working with a chronic illness, everybody needs to know that doctors can fall sick and they need support at work. And people who are working with them, they need to know about this, because they don't have much knowledge about pH, and they might want to help you, but they simply don't know how to help you. And we need specialists, we need occupational health specialists, we need rehabilitation doctors, we need physiotherapists. Surprisingly, in a big city like Dehradun, I could only find one cardiopulmonary rehabilitation specialist, and he helped me out a lot. So what's my advice to you, to all everybody who's listening to me, to all the PH patients? Slow down, please. This is your life, your body. Slow down. There's no rushing anywhere. Ask questions from your doctors, ask questions from your friends, ask questions from other people who are suffering from PH. Your diagnosis is not the end of the world. Like I felt, I was wrong. This is not the end of the world. Life does not finish here, life begins here. It's your body that's sick, your soul isn't sick. Try working part time if you can. It makes you happy. It cheers me up, so I try and keep working. Please, please, please don't isolate yourself from your family, from your friends. Don't do that. You need their support, and have faith. You cannot change your illness by simply being sad, by crying, by being depressed. You'll get sicker. So please don't feel sad for yourself. Just never back down. Remember, never back down. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Vidisha. That is an excellent talk. I don't think I need to say anything more regarding the sort of messages that would have gone to the lot of listeners in this webinar.